So this video has got some good and some bad news, unfortunately, about DAYZ and the standalone. But before I get on to that, because I know it's probably incredibly annoying I'm talking about DAYZ on a Battlefield video, but I still believe that watching this footage is more interesting than watching me run in a field, which is essentially what I'd be doing if I posted DAYZ and talked over it in this way. But what I wanted to do here was just test out some of the PDWs. I'm still of the opinion that this is my favourite here, the PP2000. A lot of people know that the UMP is statistically the best gun, it seems, in the class, but I don't know, there's just something about that sort of thin metallic stock on the back of this, and the way the laser sight's kind of placed, as you can see right at the bottom, which is just, it's just cool. And I just prefer a gun which looks good to one which is probably statistically better. But on to DAYZ. Do you want to hear the good news or the bad news? I'm going to tell you the good news first, because I like giving good news. But it's this: the DAYZ standalone should be out in the next 3 to 4 weeks, at least before the end of June, to a select 150 people. This is an open alpha, so people will be able to put up gameplay footage on YouTube of it. From what I've heard, I should hopefully be getting a key on day one, and I'll probably put up another DAYZ video on the mod just to fill in the gap between that time. Now, as good as that news is, I have of course got a couple of pieces of bad news to tell you. One of which was in the title of this video, that the DAYZ standalone, or at least an old build of it, has in fact been leaked. But this last week, Rocket, who's just come back from Mount Everest, which he climbed, I think it was like the 24th or the 27th or something New Zealander to actually climb Mount Everest, which is a fantastic achievement. But unfortunately, a certain YouTuber has been calling out Rocket and DAYZ as being a scam, like Warzy. Now you might think, is he mentally challenged? And we don't know. But what we do know is that paint chips aren't good for you. Rocket, of course, addressed all these concerns on Twitter, and that essentially ended the argument. So the YouTuber then went on and asked really quite rude questions like what Rocket's salary is, and then he started criticising another female DAYZ player about the colour of her fur burger. But you know, I'm not really concerned about these things because I got bigger fish to fry. Like, I bought myself a new camcorder.
You've got a big nose. Elbow.
Told you, I had more important things to do. Like ninjaing my dog right there. Also, if you're 12 and you're wondering what a fur burger is, don't ask your mum to buy one from the supermarket. You're going to have to trust me on this one. The second bit of bad news, though, the DAYZ standalone being leaked. At the beginning of this week, the standalone was in fact leaked out, but a very old version, one of the builds which you may have seen in the dev blogs, which was being tested by Rocket with some guys off Reddit and I think off some other forums as well. But apparently one of those guys leaked out this build, so that's the thanks they got for this privilege of being able to test the game very early on. Now, you've probably heard that some dick wranglers have actually set up servers where you can play this stolen build of the standalone if you wanted to. Me personally, I would not recommend either looking this up or looking up on YouTube any gameplay videos of it, because they, as I say, are from a very early build of the game, and you will literally spoil the standalone for yourself, because anticipation's built for it over such a long period of time, and from everything I've heard and seen, they've done a really good job of the game. And you'll see something and you'll think, well, that doesn't look very good, but of course it doesn't, because it's several months old, the build that some people are sort of playing at the moment that's been leaked out. So I really wouldn't recommend spoiling the standalone for yourself like that. If you are wondering what's been added from those very early dev blogs up till now, Rocket actually did do an interview last week where he covered some of the stuff which is going to be in the standalone, so I'm just going to run through this. Side chat is going to be replaced by radios, which is a heck of a lot better. So if you got somebody with a radio, you can call across to them, and then you could set up some sort of arrangement or trap or something like that. So radios are going to replace side chat, and it's basically going to be between whoever's got them. You'll be able to improvise grenades, so that might be things like Molotovs. I don't know how they do actual hand grenades, what you could actually use to build that, but I'm sure he's got something in for that as well. There's going to be audio cues instead of a user interface for health and drink, so all of that should be completely gone. All the weapons in the game are going to be redone as well. So there's going to be things like Rugers, bolt-action snipers. I don't think there's going to be any semi-auto snipers, so goodbye, DMR. And there's also going to be Remington shotguns and all that kind of thing. But every weapon has been redone with proper reload animations as well, because currently they're kind of a bit sketchy in Arma 2. He also said there's going to be no stamina meter, and I believe you can now run up hills in the standalone like you can do in Arma 3, but there will be a sort of sprint boost kind of meter as well. So that's actually a good thing, because obviously the map is so large. If you could only run for a certain period of time, then it would, I think it would personally take too long to get from one place to another, because I mean, it already takes 15-20 minutes to run from the bottom to the top of the map, which is a considerable amount of time if you've just died up there. From what I've seen, it looks really good, and I cannot wait to put up Season 2 of my DAYZ series when it comes out. On to other things though, the YouTube channel topper competition. I have been through nearly 2,000, I think, submissions. It took ages, but it was worth it, because there were some really amazing ones in there. And this is the one which I've chosen for my topper, as you can see. So that was drawn by Darren Gears from scratch. That everything was drawn. It isn't just a figure added into a background. You can see in the bottom left the way he actually drew it right now. So if you wanted to see, and it is a fascinating video how he actually drew that, then click on the link in there, or it's in the description as well. I tried to judge the competition based not just of obviously who was best, but who put in the most effort, I felt. And even though Darren is obviously a really talented artist, I mean, it took him nearly a week to draw that picture. So, I personally think it's quite a deserving win of the competition. You'll have to tell me what you think in the comments. Finally, back to the Battlefield 3 gameplay. Some people have been wondering whether or not it is in fact me playing in these videos, since the name isn't Frankie on PC. I'm playing as Once I Was Bucket is of course one of my aliases. It is in fact the name I play on in PlanetSide 2 as well. I'm playing on Woodman as a Vanu. I put that in the description but didn't mention it in the last PlanetSide 2 video I put up. So if you want to play with me, especially if you've got a mic, because of course PlanetSide 2 does have VoIP in it, so you can basically just talk to anybody, then just invite me into a squad and we can certainly do that, because it is a lot better, this game, when you squad it up with other people. I will be putting out some more PlanetSide 2 in the near future, and if you wanted my channel topper as a background, I'll put a high-res link in the description for you. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next chapter.